chosen one. Lock in right now because a sharp moment of divine clarity is arriving to flip your entire perspective. You have been wondering why certain doors closed and why trusted allies suddenly shifted their energy. The reality is that you are being shielded from a hidden malice, and you're about to see just how far someone would go to attack you if secretly given the chance. By the time this season concludes, you will own your past and move with a precision that shocks those who thought they had successfully sabotaged your path. Let us start at the real beginning, before the losses arrive, before the confusion set in, before you started questioning yourself. Something was already growing inside you. You felt it. It was a sense of purpose you could not fully explain. It was a quiet knowing that you were built for something significant, not arrogance, just a deep, settled, unshakable awareness that there was something living inside you that had not yet been fully released. Call it your gift, call it your inner vault. It is the place where your real potential lives. It is the ideas that surface in your quietest hours. It is the things you build when nobody else is watching. It is the vision you have been carrying that you have not yet been able to fully execute. It is the energy that radiates from you even when you are simply existing, not performing, not trying, just being. That thing in you is real. It is substantial. And here is where things begin to get very interesting. You are not the only one who could sense it. Someone else sensed it too. Long before any results were visible on the outside, long before anything you were building had taken a form anyone else could see. This person could detect potential on you, the same way a trained tracker does not need to see the trail to know exactly where it leads. This person clocked you, studied you, and then very quietly and very deliberately moved in close. And here is the part nobody talks about honestly. This person was not a random encounter. that, it becomes very important as we move forward.